Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I welcome you all to my channel, Little Scientist. Hope you are all doing well. Today, our topic is metals and non-metals. Matter is divided into two types, that some of the matter is pure, that are elements and compounds, and some are mixtures. And mixtures are again of two types, like homogeneous and heterogeneous. Another thing to revise is the periodic table. In the periodic table, you can see a zigzag line on the right hand side. Basically, this zigzag line separates metals from non-metals. The elements that are present above or on the right hand side of the periodic table are known as non-metals, and the elements that are present below this zigzag line are all metals. Almost there are 118 known elements. Elements are divided as metals, non-metals and metalloids. Metalloids are substances that have some of the properties of metals and some of the properties of non-metals. So let us continue with today's lesson, that is metals and non-metals. After this, you will be able to differentiate between the physical properties of metals and non-metals. Coming to the physical properties, first of all, we are going to look at the physical state. So metals are solid at room temperature. All the metals, most of the metals are solid at room temperature except mercury. Mercury is liquid at room temperature. As far as the physical state of non-metals is concerned, non-metals exist in solid, liquid or gaseous state. Second physical property is melting and boiling point. So most of the metals have high melting and boiling points. Look at the tungsten filament inside the bulb. It is not melting even at 3400 degrees Celsius. That is 3400 degrees Celsius. It can resist this much temperature. So metals have usually high melting and boiling points. But non-metals generally have comparatively low melting and boiling points. Next property is hardness. So most of the metals are very hard. They can withstand high pressure. Examples are iron, chromium, etc. And non-metals are not hard, they are brittle. Brittle is something that can be broken easily when pressure is applied. So example is sulfur. Next physical property is luster. Luster is basically shiny appearance. So most of the metals are shiny. When they are polished, their surface becomes shiny. And non-metals have dull appearance and they do not shine. Next property is ductility and malleability. Ductility and malleability are two terms. Ductility means anything that can be molded into wires, and malleable is something that can be beaten into sheets. So most of the metals are ductile and malleable, that they can be drawn into wires, like you can see copper wires, and they can be beaten into thin sheets, like you can see thin sheets of iron and tin, etc. But non-metals are usually neither ductile nor malleable. Non-metals cannot be drawn into thin wires or not be beaten into thin sheets because they are brittle and they break before they are molded into wires and sheets. Next property is sonorous. Sonorous is something that produces sound when it is hit. So most of the metals produce a ringing sound when they are struck with hard objects. For example, you can see the bell. The bell is made up of metal, and when it is hit with a hammer, it produces a sound. But non-metals do not produce sound. Their sound are dull when they are struck with hard objects. Then comes thermal and electrical conductivity. So most of the metals are good conductors of heat as well as electricity. Like you can see that in electrical wires we use copper. Copper is a metal and it conducts electricity very well. And heat is conducted by many materials like iron or the metals that are used to make cooking utensils. But on the other hand, non-metals are poor conductors of heat and electricity. Example is the handle of this pan, and the handle of this pan does not get hot because it is poor conductor of heat and electricity as well. Now we will summarize our topic. So coming to the summary, we have studied about the physical properties of metals and non-metals. So look at the physical properties of metals. Metals are generally solid, hard, lustrous, malleable, ductile, good conductors of heat and electricity, sonorous, and have high melting and boiling points. On the other hand, non-metals do not have such properties. They are not hard, they are brittle, they are not lustrous, they are dull, they are not malleable nor ductile, they are poor conductors of heat and electricity, they do not produce sound when beaten by a hard object, they have low melting and boiling points as compared to metals. Thank you. I hope you have enjoyed the lesson. Please subscribe for more such informative and educational videos.